Hey everyone. So we have created integration runtime, link service, and dataset. Now we'll be creating our pipeline. So I'll go to this pipeline section over here and I click on new pipeline, right click and new pipeline. And the name of the pipeline is, let's say, migrate the data. So I'll name it as migrate data. That's what I'll be naming my pipeline as. Okay. Now, before migrating, before copying the data, there is an activity you can perform. So there is a series of tasks you can perform called as get metadata. So basically, there is actually a activity is there. That's an inbuilt activity is there called as get metadata. That's the activity is there. Now, how do we put it over here inside this canvas? So what you can do, you can basically transfer it to this canvas by just dragging it. So I click on dragging the data. Now, what does this get metadata do? So it's actually gives us the information about the data, like, let's say we need what type of file you want to transfer, the CSV files, the name of the folder, what all the files names are there inside that folder. That's what we need. Get metadata. Now, inside this get metadata, I need to go to this settings first of all and select the data set. So this would be my on-premise data set because first of all, I need the information from my on-prem data set. So I'll select on-prem data and let's try to, you can see that over here, it's coming as open if you want to open this data set or not. So I want to, I want the information from this data set. Now, once this is done, what you can do, you can publish, you can save this. Publish is like saving it. So there is saying field list and get metadata activity cannot be empty. So there are certain fields are there in this activity called as get metadata. As you can see, data set is a star and this is also star. That means you need to provide it. Let's go to the Microsoft documentation and see what exactly these field list are there in the get metadata activity. Let's see that. All right. So I'm in the documentation page now. As you can see it over here, these are the different fields that you can select, like item name, item type, size, created. These are the different field names are there that is required. Now, for in our case, because we want to take action on every CSV file, we need the item name. That is nothing but the name of the file or the folder, and the child item. Child items is actually the list of the subfolders in the given folder. So inside my folder, C drive folder 1, there are different files are there. So you understand it like this. This is an array child items and these are the individual files names which is there inside it. So we need these two property. So if you can recall our for each loop, we did something like server names, right? This is actually nothing but the server names and we are giving one by one item to this item name server. If you can recall the for each loop, that's why I taught you the for each loop. So this is actually nothing but the all the files are there and it giving the files one by one to this item name property. So we need these two things importantly for this particular field list. So let's go to the Azure portal. All right, so I'm in the portal now. I'll be selecting a field list as new. Let's say I click on new and I'll be selecting, I need first of all the child items over here and click on new once again. And I need one more thing, which is nothing but the item name for my get metadata activity. And let's publish it so that we can save it. I publish it. Publish is actually nothing but the saving it. Let's wait for it. It's just publishing to the factory. It's done. Now what we can do once the publish is done, we can try to do a debug option, just test run of the current pipeline. Okay, let's try to run it. Let's try to run it and see what the things are coming. So you can see the pipeline is queued. It will run first of all. We want to see if the data is coming or not. So you can see that this is actually nothing but the input actually coming up over here. Okay, let's try to validate it. Let's wait for this first of all. All right. So you can see that the pipeline is succeeded and it took 11 seconds. Now there are two things. If you will come over here close to the activity name, you will find these two symbols, input and you can see that output. So if you want to see the output that is coming, you can click on this and see this is how it is coming. Can you see? It has inside the child item, it has grabbed all the names of my file. It's like an array. All the files are there inside it. Okay, now will be used as of now item name is nothing, but we will be giving it back to back one by one. Out of these all child items, we will be giving these files one by one to this item name when we'll be using something called as a for each loop. Okay, so this is succeeded. That means this activity is done for us. Get metadata. So I hope this part is clear. Thank you, everyone.